welcome to today's video. I say today's as if I'm posting all the time, which I'm not. That said, I will be posting more often now that everything is back on track, but that wreck I was in really threw off my schedule, like big time, for a long time. So now that I am back in the swing of things, I'm finally doing this video. This one did have to wait for another reason, which was just that I wanted to have the extensions longer, or like long enough to have them moved up and like get some time getting to know what it feels like and what styling my hair is like and just all the ins and outs, so that I would have something, I don't know, worthwhile to even make a, like, you know what I mean? So I got tape and extensions by Glam Seamless. The extensions were put in my hair at 410 Salon in Baltimore. It is the cutest salon, and they have all these different services that they offer there in addition to like just hair services, eyebrows, nails, obviously styling and coloring and all of that. They have a boutique on half of the store, which is super cute. I think they're actually switching to a new, I don't know if it's like a brand, somebody who runs, but like they're switching. But like the thing is, there's a boutique there, there's a bunch of cute stuff. I just got glasses there the other day. Anyways, I waited to do this video though until I had them for a little bit so that I'd actually have, you know, time to form an opinion, as well as get them moved up once in my hair, which I had done over the weekend, this last weekend, so like 2 days ago. Let's talk about the day of and how the transformation goes down. I got them put in by Kelly. This is her Instagram. Why am I like out of breath right now? It's because I get all like amped up and excited. You ever watch those YouTube videos? You're watching a YouTube video, but you know when you watch people and they're like all out of breath and you're like, chill. You're sitting on your couch right now. But then I'm doing that and I'm excited, so I'm okay. Anyways,
Also kind of hoping that maybe Brad Mondo will end up watching this, because I know he likes to watch blonde transformations and like extension transformations. And just, Brad, if you end up watching this, hi, I love your channel and I love your videos, and every time you tell us we're beautiful, I feel that and I appreciate it. So moving on.
I got to the salon and they always ask you if you want to drink, and they have all these different options. I of course chose champagne because bubbly felt right, and as if that's like an important thing. I'm kidding. I'm silly a lot of the time, and I forget that y'all don't necessarily know me, so you don't know what to take seriously. The first step was to relighten my hair to try to get more of that peach tone to lift out, and she was just very careful. Like, we made sure that we used Olaplex at every different step, trying to maintain the integrity of my hair as much as possible. Of course, when you're bleaching, there is going to be damage, and if you're getting your hair bleached, you'll hopefully know that going into it. Part of the reason why so many blondes have extensions is because of all the damage that happens when you bleach it. So catch-22 there. For me though, the reason I wanted extensions, I've been able to grow my hair long before, like down to here-ish, I think is the longest it's been. But I have fine hair, and even though I have a normal amount of it, because each hair is so like tiny, that it's like your whole ponytail is also tiny, and you just like, there's not a lot of volume to play with. It's hard to get volume in your hair. Like, there's just, you're limited. And I love, obviously, all things like style and fashion. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that. And I've been kind of working on developing my personal style and stuff. It's not like that shit just comes out of nowhere. Like, you have to learn it and develop it. Anyways, on that note though, having more hair to play with is like just one more kind of accessory or like way to play with your style. And I had, not tape-ins, clip-ins, multiple different sets over the years that I have played with, and I always loved having them in. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to look like. This is what hair is supposed to be. And then you take them out and it's like, ugh. So I decided that I wanted to have a more permanent kind of extension experience, have it for a little while, and then decide, is this something I want to maintain, or should I just have the clip-ins for occasions? At this point, I'm really enjoying having the tape-ins. Back to the process.
Ready to turn you.
Oh, it's blonde.
Oh, she blonde. Oh.
And then we started the process of actually putting the tape ins in. I did tell her to like, how to explain that? Because it's not like you decide how many bundles of hair to buy. You decide like how thick you want your hair to be. If you're just adding like even just one row of extensions just to give your hair a little bit more volume, there's tons of different options. You don't have to get a full head of a ton of hair. But for fun, I told her that that is what I wanted to do. So we like filled up, my head was full of extensions all over, so many. And she did an amazing job, like very, you know, well lined up and just like quality application. I keep doing this. So you take the extensions and you pull the two sides apart, and I was doing that to just kind of speed up the process. And so I was like pulling them apart and handing them to her, and then she was of course sectioning my hair. And then you like, these are hairs hanging down. Okay, bear with me, right? So this is like scalp, and then you have hairs hanging down. You stick the one side of tape to the hairs at the base where they connect to the scalp. And then as you lift the tape up, those hairs that have now stuck to it go with, but just like one single line of hairs, only a tiny little row. And then you take the other side of tape and sandwich it on. So then you have hair sandwiched in between these two sides of tape. Your hair is mixed with the extension hair, and then you have that like melding or meshing or blending of all the strands. It took a long time. Like it took probably a couple hours to finish the application, but that was with so many extensions. This last weekend when we redid it, the entire process of taking them out, bleaching my hair, and putting them in all took like 3 hours. My appointment was at 3.5 to 4 hours, but like we had breaks throughout that. And yeah, the original application did take longer, but I attribute that to how much hair we used. So yeah, helped her just by like pulling those apart. She applied them all and then went through and styled my hair. And I was just sitting there like, I could tell that it was heavy, but it didn't feel like heavy in a bad way. It was just like, wow, this is a lot of hair. And then when I went to stand up, it was like, oh my, because it was literally down to my butt. I'm not sure if I have a clip of me when I stood up and like got to see it for the first time, but it was just crazy to see me with hair down. So
Yeah, that's a fuck ton of hair.
I think it was that very first night that I was like trying to figure out how to manage that much hair, only to realize that it was a little too much. And so I messaged her and I was like, hey, sometime this week can we take some of these out? It's too much hair. I couldn't even put it in a bun. I couldn't braid it, or no, I could braid it, but it was just like the braid was so big that it was like this heavy, like, I don't know, it was ridiculous. It was a lot of hair. But yeah, so I went back, saw her like 3 or 4 days later. We took out like 9 or 10 sandwiches, so like 20 little pieces of hair, and that lightened my head and lessened the bulk so much that it was like way easier to work with. And since then, over the last month and a half, I've just been experimenting on like, I don't know, different hairstyles and like what works and what doesn't. And then of course this weekend I had my hair roots rebleached, touched up, and had them moved up. She did just get training on the, what is it called? Braidless sew-in, I think. Glam Seamless also has like wefts for that, and we've talked about possibly switching over to it for a number of different reasons. On that note, because I'm not an expert enough at this point to like spell out the pros and cons between all the different types of extensions that are offered, but what I will say from all my exploring is that all the different kinds of extensions that are, well, not all, but like pretty much most of the extensions that are offered, if they're applied correctly and you're taking care of them correctly and like maintaining correctly, it's all about the process that's meant to happen being done correctly. You're good to go. It's when you're being careless, reckless, not maintaining, that then you run into problems. So yes, there are pros and cons with different kinds, but if you have an option available to you and someone is against it because they had a particular bad experience, maybe do a little bit more research, and there's a chance that like maybe they just didn't take good care of them. I've heard people say terrible things about tape-ins, and my experience has been awesome so far. I've had 0 damage to my hair other than from the bleach. And even when we took the hairs out, I didn't have like hairs pull out with it or anything like that. Is that everything? I don't know. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this transformation, and if you have any questions, like definitely either leave them here, find me on Instagram.
But just like, you don't have to. It's just like, hi.
Okay, bye!
Thank you for watching.
I think that's everything for this video. I hope it's been informative or entertaining or a combination of both of those things, and I'm gonna get on with the rest of my day, but I hope that you come back and join me for my next join me for my next video. Okay, bye! Subscribe.